Hello, this is Krista back with you today. Hopefully I won't have so many technical issues today with my phone. But today I want to touch on the subject again of narcissism. First I want to say that yes, I did have another front tooth out. They are working on they took this one out 2 days ago, and then they're going to be working on taking this one out, and I'm going to get a nice perfect bridge up here. So for once in my life I might have not so crooked teeth. They'll be perfect, even though they'll be fake. It will still be kind of nice, considering sometimes when we have to lose things, we have to accept what is, and you know, try to be okay with it and happy about it and be grateful for the things that we have and that we can gain in the process. Hopefully better things, you know. So I want to talk about narcissism today. I'm going to try not to get all fired up, because that is something that I've been working on. And you know, for the longest time I thought it was me, and I even was discussing it in my DBT group yesterday about how angry and like in a rage I myself can get when talking to and fighting with narcissists that are really getting under my skin and just aggravating me to no end and hurting me and just angering me and turn me into some kind of a raging bia, you know what I mean? So I really thought it was me, and then although I watched videos in the past about it, it's sort of becoming more clear to me as I watched another video today from Kevin the Royal We, which kind of knocked on my brain again, like, wow, this is really what you need to hear this morning, because this is kind of what you're going through right now. And just that, the reassurance that it actually isn't me. You know, I mean, it's not really us when we have to deal with a narcissistic person. And I want to say that I feel this way about two situations that have happened so far. Just here lately is the first one being my ex, and trying to go over to his house and talk to him before he went to jail, just to say goodbye. Still trying to get that closure that I never get, that you will never get from a narcissist. And because of my nice, kind heart, or whatever, more like my codependency. But, so anyways, when I did fall into that rage, when I went over there, because it was my birthday, and he locked the doors, and he refused to talk to me, which they do on your holidays and birthdays and things like that. They'll just ruin it for you. They just do. That's just one of the things that they do. That's part of sabotaging and beating you down, and making themselves better than you. That is their all-time purpose. So, and then of course I lost it. I did. I lost it. Because he at least always answers the door, and, you know, we can talk. But this time I became so upset that I beat his door and on his window, and then I accidentally broke kind of a thin window I thought was more of a thick window. And it was like I lost control, you know. And then for instance, again last night, it seems to be in my case that when I'm feeling the worst, all of a sudden things just get worse. Like, for instance, last night when I realized today that the acetylphenamine Tylenol 3 coatings that they gave me for my tooth a few days ago, I'm allergic to them. And so I started feeling really sick yesterday and really out of it. I was feeling like dizzy and like I was going to faint the last couple days. And really it's been hard. And I had to do my taxi driving last night for this group of men. And the man that got in first seemed nice at first. And we actually talked about partials and, you know, taking teeth out. And he seemed nice. But then, as time went by, I was having problems being disoriented out on the road, and I asked, and I just kind of let him lead the way when he started telling me all the road numbers, and um, and it was a little bit out of my zone, which I was familiar with. And so, usually, people will help if I need them to when I explain my physical situation, which a lot of times, sometimes. Okay, so continuing on. Um, usually a normal person an average normal person will get in the car, and when I tell them I'm having some problems, they will help direct me as to where they want to go, because, and I do have a GPS, which usually helps on my drives. But throughout this whole drive last night, um, this man kept complaining about my GPS, and seemed very unsatisfied that and very controlling in the roads that he wanted to take, and different things, and it was really starting to annoy me because he just seemed to have such a need for, like, control, over everything. And when we got back to his house, on the way back after I had dropped all the other men off and it was just him and I again, when we were almost back to his house, he started asking me a lot of questions, like how long I'd been driving for, and um, where I had lived at all my life, if I was familiar with the area, and just a bunch of really crappy, insulting questions, like sometimes I get when I drive people. But this man just was one of the cases where narcissism ruled. I mean, before he got out of the car, when he started opening the door, he said, well, I hope you can find your way back home. Like I wouldn't be able to find my way back home. And I've been driving professionally for 5 years. And this guy just really grated on my nerves. He turned something small just way out of proportion. And I was just trying to do my job and make some money, and obviously the man couldn't handle it, and was not nice at all, and was very rude. And I mean, I was already feeling miserable, and I just lost it again. I mean, it was that thing that they do where they can trigger you into a rage. That's what I was learning about today by Kevin from the Royal We, that they can really put us in that place, and they can put us into a rage back when they just constantly badger us and put us down and put us down until we feel like we don't know what we're doing, we're inadequate at what we're doing, and so on and so forth. And again, I had just gotten to such a beaten down point that it was like this just rage came out of me. And he started walking away from the car and slammed the door and walked away from the car. And I rolled down the window as he was walking towards his house. And I said, "You're a very rude person." Because I just wanted to get back at them. That's a lot of times what we want to do. We want to win, and we want to get back at them to feel better, to feel better. And, but which is not the case that Kevin was teaching that we should do. And it got worse because he finally went into a narcissistic rage himself, because he started kind of walking towards me, and he said, what did you say to me?" And I gave him the finger, loud and clear. And that turned him into a narcissistic rage just like that. And he started walking toward me like he was going to beat me. And I took off, and I honked the horn very loudly on my way out of his driveway. And basically, to me, it was just kind of a way to show him that I didn't like it and I didn't like his behavior. But all in all, um, what what I'm learning right now is that really you can get mad as hell at these people, but try not to fall into that trap where they are going to terrorize you and beat you down in any way that they can, you know. And I left with just my hands shaking and I went home and I was terrified. I was. It like triggered that trauma response all over again and I was just a mess. And I wanted to quit my job and a lot of things. But try not to fall into their trap. Like what Kevin was talking about today. Try not to fall into their trap of getting mad and vengeful and angry back, because that's exactly what they want you to do. So then you can look bad and they can feel better and feel like they are the better ones. That is the name of their game. It's just to have more power and feel better than you and make you look like really bad. So, yeah, I guess we're all going to learn either the hard way or the easy way, but it's not easy, but I do think that practice makes perfect, and some of the tips and pointers that I got today, I'm going to just I'm going to start trying to practice those, because we end up getting in trouble for trying to stand up for ourselves, and they just pull the rug from under us in any way they can, like trick us with that crap. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that today because it was just so nasty and I just felt all twisted up again. And I knew on my way home, especially when I got home, that awful feeling wouldn't go away and that I kept thinking about it over and over again, like, like a trauma bonding, in trauma bonding. That's what happens. Um, so, I guess that's all I really wanted to say today, and hopefully I can help some people out there, and good luck to you.